Hey Awana friends, it's Miss Christy. Welcome to Ocean Week. So Ocean Week is this week, and I got you something neat for the goodie bags. I got you a craft this week, and so what it is, it's a sticky piece of paper, and what you're gonna do is it's got an image of an animal, an ocean animal on it. And so this one's like a whale. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's a whale in there. Anyway, so what you're gonna do is you peel off the yellow part. The yellow part's like a wax paper. So you're gonna pull off the paper, and when you do, the sticky part is underneath. And there's these little packets of sand, and you pour the sand on the sticky part that you want to be that color, and then the sand will stick to the sticky part. Okay, so I would, if you're going to change colors, I would go ahead and pick it up and kind of throw away the excess or the extra sand that's left on the picture. And then you just peel another part off and put some more sand there, whatever color you want. So just keep working around the picture until you get the entire thing done with the sand. And so it should be pretty fun. I've never done any craft like this, but I think it looks like a lot of fun. So there's a sand craft to do. And like I said, there's different images on there. Like this one has a whale, but there's also, I see an octopus, and I don't know, there's some fish, I think, maybe in here. So there's different ones. So I don't know which one you'll get, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Okay? So you've got some sand art and your snack. I was thinking about letting you make your own snack. This is I found a little, it looks like a little clam shell that you make with vanilla wafers. And what you do is you take the vanilla wafer, put one on the top, one on the bottom, and you frost it. Get a little packet of frosting or peanut butter, and you put the frosting or peanut butter on the vanilla wafer. And then after you put that on there, you kind of squish them together and then stick a yogurt covered raisin in the middle. And so it looks like a little clamshell with a pearl inside. So I thought that was cute. I may end up doing that, and if I do, I'll put the kit together so you can just make those at home. Or you can just eat it up and not worry about making the clam. Whatever you want to do, it's your food. So anyway, but I will get those together today and make sure you get those. But they're really cute. When I get some done, I will try to, or get the ingredients, I'll try to post that on the comments, and that way you'll know what it looks like, okay? Or maybe I can just find a picture online where I found it. Anyway, so Ocean Night, if you want some extra points this week, you can dress in something related to, something that relates to the ocean. So maybe or you can show me something that relates to the ocean. So maybe you have a shell at home. I have one of these cool shells here. Or maybe you have a shirt that has a fish on it, or maybe an octopus, or anything that lives in the ocean. That's a big wide range of things. So you can wear something that has ocean things on it, or the beach even. I would take the beach stuff too. Or you can show me a shell or something like that you might have at home. Okay? So anything related to the ocean, you get some extra points for that. Okay. So our lesson this week is about, I was thinking about the ocean, and the ocean is water, and the earth is made up of mostly water. So I got to looking around at that and found a good lesson about it. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about that, okay? The waters of the earth make up 71% of our planet. So we have 71% of the whole planet is water. Now most of that, the majority of it, is salt water. There's only a small percentage, actually, a small amount that's actually fresh water that we can drink. So I thought that was interesting. But most of it is the ocean. The salt water is the ocean. And all living things that we have here on earth depend on water to survive. Every continent has water on it or ice. Antarctica is mostly ice. But it has water or ice on it on every continent so man can live. And Antarctica, nobody lives there. There's some scientists and researchers that go there, but they don't stay there for extended periods of time, from what I understand. So because it's all ice, and so but even there they have the ice that they can use to live off of, some water. So I was looking at some verses about this, and in Habakkuk in the Old Testament, we don't get many verses from Habakkuk. But in Habakkuk 2:14, it says, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." And I thought about that. The water covers, the waters of the earth cover most of the earth. And it says that the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord. Now, if you think about this, one group of people, the Israelites, the Hebrews, the Jewish people that we know today, they all came from this one group of people that God made. And over time, this idea of God and the God of Abraham, Isaac, Joseph, this has spread throughout time. And then when we hit Jesus, it exploded, and everybody was able to start sharing with others, and the church expanded like crazy, as we read in the book of Acts in the New Testament. And Jesus was around 2,000 years ago, and here we are 2,000 years later, and most of the earth has at least heard of Jesus. Most people have. Now, there are people around the world probably still who haven't heard of Jesus or haven't heard of God and what that means. But for it to come from such a small place in the world, and God has really blessed that effort, and we have spread the news, the gospel of Jesus throughout all of the earth over these past 2,000 years pretty well. And so that got me thinking about this verse and its application. So, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, just as the waters cover the sea." So we have definitely done that. The world knew of God, and the God of, like I said, the God of Israel has taken many years to get all the way around the world for everybody to hear about, but we have done that. And in Matthew 24, Jesus speaks to his disciples about the end of the world. And this is what he says about it. In verse 14, let me turn there. This is in Matthew 24, verse 14. It says, "And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached into all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then the earth shall end." Oh, I'm sorry. "And then shall the end come." And then shall the end come. So in Matthew 24, it tells us that when the entire earth hears about Jesus, that's when the times will start, the end times will start to set in motion. And so since we know that most of the earth has heard about Jesus and has heard the gospel, we need to be ready and be prepared, because God is setting these things up, and it's on his timeline. He does everything according to his purpose and for his glory, and he sets everything into motion when it's the right time. And we need to be ready for the end times, because most of the earth has heard of Jesus by now. So get yourself ready and watching for the Lord, because he could come back any day. And he says no man knows the hour or the day, so we have to be ready when Jesus returns. And it says that he'll come back in the clouds just like he went up. And so when the disciples watched him go up in the clouds, and then he went off to heaven and disappeared, the Bible says, and we learned about this with our trivia question a few weeks ago, there was 2 men that came up behind him dressed in white, and they said, he's going to come back the same way he went up. And so make sure that you have your heart ready and be watching and looking and waiting in the skies, because one day he'll come back for us, and that'll be such a happy day, and we'll all be so excited that Jesus has come for us. And so anyway, have your heart ready, because the whole world has heard about Jesus, or it's getting very close to the whole world having heard about Jesus and the gospel. So that was my lesson for today. And then our trivia question for today also comes from Matthew 24. So in Matthew 24, the Bible says, there is no man who knows when Jesus will come back. But it does say that there is one person who does know when he'll come back. Only one. And so who is that person? Can you tell me who is that person who knows when Jesus will come back? And that is in Matthew 24. So look that up and let me know. Last week's trivia question was about something called an ephod, an E-P-H-O-D. It's talked about a lot in the Old Testament, especially when they're talking about the priest and the people who were working in the temple around Jesus, or around God, I'm sorry. And so this is found a lot in Exodus, where God talks about this, but he gives specific instructions for making certain objects blue, and this is one of them. The ephod, I asked you to look that up in Exodus 28 or the dictionary and find out what it was. It's actually an apron. It's like an apron. It's a piece of clothing that goes on top of all the other clothing that the priests are supposed to wear, and it is supposed to be blue to remember God's laws, and the priests are the people who help us remember God's laws. And this thing would go on top of your clothes, and it would be blue, and that was what they were supposed to wear. And there were more specific details about what it was supposed to look like, but in Exodus 28, and you can still read through that if you want to. But that was the answer. The ephod was a piece of clothing worn by the priests, and it would go on top of your clothing like an apron. Okay, so good job for those who looked that up, and I guess that's all I have for this week. Y'all make sure you have fun with this sand craft and try not to make too much of a mess. You might want to do it outside if the day is nice, and that way you won't get sand all over your house, okay? Your moms will appreciate that if you do it outside. All right, y'all have a good week. I'm praying for y'all, and spring break is next week, okay? Spring break is next week, so I won't see y'all back here until about March 17th is what I have here. So it's 16th or 17th, and that'll be catch-up night. So catch-up night means that we are going to catch up on some verses, hopefully. But most of y'all are doing pretty good on your verses and keeping up with your book work. So good job on that, and keep up the good work. And guys, we are in the home stretch. After spring break, there's only a few weeks of Awana left. So I'm excited we're able to still go through COVID and all these crazy things happening this year. So I'm very happy with everybody's progress, and y'all just keep up the good work. Okay? All right. If y'all ever need me, give me a call. But otherwise, I will see you soon. I love y'all. I'm praying for you. Bye-bye.